Neighbors gathered in parks, backyards, and the streets of White Bear Lake for Night to Unite. Coming up, we'll tell you how one family has put a new twist on this annual tradition.
There's a competitive spirit that exists between the police and fire departments, and we'll show you how a member of each bent over backwards during a special challenge.
Hello and thanks for joining us. We're out at Cottage Park Nature Preserve taking advantage of the last days of summer.
If you need a quiet spot to decompress from a busy schedule, this is the place. We're surrounded by beautiful oak trees and wildlife, but we also have a great view of White Bear Lake.
Night to Unite is an annual tradition celebrated every August across the country.
First responders shared some food and conversation with residents, while one White Bear Lake family shared a new way to say thanks.
We are setting up a little table here, handing out signs to support our local police officers. We thought with everything going on right now, it'd just be a good way to show our support and get the message out throughout the community that we're grateful for the work they do. We just want them to, as they're working, as they're patrolling, to see that there are people out there who are just grateful to have them.
They're yummy.
I think we just want to get the ball rolling, and I think that people will respond, and then we can just take it from there.
Well, that's awesome.
Oh, thanks.
It'll go in the front yard. yeah, we'll display it proudly for sure.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
Actually, I was one of the first ones here, and I went and took my sign and put it at my house already.
Yes. Oh, thank you.
Nice little party. I think I'm going to get a cup of coffee though, and then go display that sign.
To be noisy, I don't think you have to be loud, and I don't think you have to even be that opinionated. But for me, I just feel like, you know, I remember watching that news conference for the Baton Rouge Police Department after their shooting and just feeling like it's just such a tragedy. And it's sad that you hear all the negative all the time. And, you know, just to find a way to show them that's not the majority.
If you'd like to order a sign or find out more, log on to the Murphys website. And what a great family they are, and what they're doing, and their whole family is involved. And if you saw the little girl popping in and out there, she's adorable. She had a lemonade stand and she was selling the signs also. So keep your eyes peeled for
A little
that.
photo bomb.
Yeah.
That was funny. Mary Helmerich is a White Bear Lake resident and Public Works employee who has her hand in a bit of everything.
In this next segment, she's helping residents say goodbye to their garbage. Take a look.
Do-it-yourselfers love our cleanup because we take pretty much everything except hazardous waste and tree, yard waste and things like that. But yeah, it works out really nice. I mean, we get a really good turnout both spring and fall. The best way, which we try to encourage people to do, is to not come off of 61. We encourage them to go down to County Road F and then come up Hoffman because it lines up that way. got our guys here. We got about 8 to 10 of our guys working on site at the same time, helping the various vendors, helping our garbage hauler get rid of the stuff and unload the trucks and get them through as quickly as possible, because that's part of the frustration is waiting in line. We try to do as much recycling as possible. I've got it really down to an art. Purged, you know, I'm like, how does it feel to purge all your stuff? They're like, yeah, this is great. We usually get a lot of really happy people in cleanup. We like that. When we do it for a day, they get a bunch and then they give us a reduced rate. And then we just pass on that savings to the residents, which works out really well. It's kind of a win-win for both. You know, we get rid of all that stuff in the city and we're not picking it up on the side of the road, and they get rid of their stuff at a reduced rate. So it works out really well.
So she was actually out at the drop-off site in that segment. The fall cleanup is Saturday, October 1st from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. For a list of items you can dispose of and the costs, log on to their website.
Kids are heading back to school this month, and before we go to break, Sergeant John Vetty has a message for students and drivers.
School is back in session, and thousands of school buses will be back on Minnesota roads this month. I'm Sergeant John Vetty, reminding children and motorists to pay attention. In the past 5 years, 65 students have been injured in school bus crashes. Although school buses are the safest mode of transportation for kids, it's the zone outside the bus that's the most dangerous. While waiting for the bus, children should be patient and stand back from the road. Once on the bus, stay seated and listen to the driver. When getting off a bus, look to make sure no cars are passing. Before crossing the street, take 5 large steps out from the front of the bus or until you can see the driver's face. Wait for the driver to signal it's safe to cross. Motorists must stop at least 20 feet from a school bus when flashing red lights and an extended arm. Motorists are not required to stop if the bus is on the opposite side of a median, but they should remain on the lookout for children. Watch for school crossing patrols and pedestrians and reduce speeds around school zones. It's easy. Pay attention, be cautious, and slow down. Let's keep the kids in our community safe. And in case you were wondering, yes, I am that officer busting a move in the police department's Running Man Challenge video. I'll see you next time.
Gosh, I would say that some of my favorite things are just kind of the more spontaneous things that we do. Sometimes we'll have just a little segment that's a little bit more spontaneous than others. And I really enjoy meeting some of the new firefighters, meeting some of the new police officers, just asking them questions about how do you like the department so far, and just some off-the-cuff types of questions, maybe put them on the spot a little bit. And yeah, I think I like those. Welcome back. He was a semi-regular guest on the show, but it's been a while, and now he's back.
Jeff Lokes is here to talk about an upcoming charity event he's organizing, and he's joined by co-organizer Natalie Cooper. Natalie, Jeff, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. So Jeff, you've got a little bit of a change in roles as far as being on the department. Tell us quick about that.
Yeah, I'm no longer on the fire department. I work in the emergency room at a local hospital, Regions Hospital. It's kind of a passion of mine, and I'm able to do more charity work, I believe, and thanks to the fire department for the platform that they gave me. It helped a lot with my charity, but now I want more time to pursue that. So.
Yeah, and Natalie?
What's
your deal?
What's my deal? Well, my name's Natalie. I met Jeff here working as an emergency room technician here at Regions Hospital, and gotten to know him quite a bit, and he's really involved with a lot of the charity cases. So I'm looking forward to more events, and that's really how I got involved into this today.
Very good. So the emergency room marathon, is that what you're calling the program? Tell us all about that.
It's quite literally going to be a marathon on October 1st. What we're doing is we're we saw a big need for emergency departments to get items to comfort children, not only that are patients, but that have to wait there with family members. A lot of hospitals get some grants to get these items, as you can see Natalie holding some, but it only lasts so long, and just in my experience in the emergency department, it's one of the most important tools that we have there. We get a lot of children that didn't expect to be in the hospital in a rush, and there's nothing like being able to give them a stuffed animal. So on that day, October 1st, we're taking donations from people. A lot of people are going to drop off things at a police or fire department or meet us there, and we're going to deliver them to the hospital of their choice on that same day. So for us, it's teams across the Twin Cities picking up and dropping off to emergency rooms on that day, and it truly is an emergency room marathon. So.
That's so great, because we take kids all the time, like if we have to place them somewhere for their safety or whatever, but they always have to go to the hospital first. And it's a very long time for them to sit there and wait. And you know, it's hard for the staff, nurses and stuff, to find things to keep the kids occupied, like books and toys, or a blanket if they're cold, or you know, a bag for their stuff if they don't have something. You don't think about those things, but you get kids in there all the time that need something, or get something like this that just get their mind off of what they're going through.
Sure.
So, I mean, you had already kind of talked about some of the things that might be needed, but Natalie, do you want to tell us what specifically are you looking for?
Yeah,
Stuffed toys, little Dalmatians.
Yes, absolutely. These two things right here. You know, every child is different. You know, what we bring to them is going to serve as a different purpose of comfort for them. But, you know, working in the ER, as long as we've seen a lot of comfort with things like stuffed animals, for sure. You know, really just kind of giving them that peace that it's going to be okay. And then, you know, I've also seen a lot of success with things like coloring books, you know, just really distracting them and taking them away from the environment that they're in right now, because it can be really stressful. But really any type of thing that they can bring in is going to be beneficial for them.
Okay, well, great. And let's see now, I understand that this will benefit a variety of emergency rooms, right? It's not really focused to...
Is it metro area, or...?
Yeah, it's a Twin Cities area. I mean, we might have a little bit of bias because of where we work, but we already have people that have made donations and have clarified, I would like this to go to this hospital. I think it's mostly parents that can identify, myself included, that have had to make trips to the emergency room. And a lot of people have in mind the places that they've had to go specifically. They say, hey, I'd like to donate these to this hospital in particular. And of course, we just love that. We'd like to hit every hospital in the Twin Cities area. You know,
what if it's something like Duluth? If they say, they were really great and they transported me to another hospital down here, but I really want the Duluth people to have something.
We would like to, we'd like to...
I'm just going to walk it over again.
We'd like to, we will not be walking there, but I'd like to help coordinate that for them. If they're not comfortable with that, we'll definitely make calls to the hospitals because we have that familiarity. But
trying to stay local, Twin Cities.
For sure, there's only so much we can do in one day. It's specifically on October 1st. That doesn't mean we won't take donations than we already have before then, but it's what we can accomplish on that day. Best case scenario, someone else might do the same thing we're doing on October 1st in their area that we can't reach.
So maybe if there's like a group, say like Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts or some other type of group that says, hey, gosh, this sounds like a great program, I would foresee they would maybe collect this, they would get a hold of you on, maybe message you on their Facebook event page or something like that, and then coordinate to pick it up. Tell us kind of how that would work.
Yeah, as right now people message us on our Facebook page, Special Teams Charities. A local police department has already done that, and they're taking up collections. But people say, hey, we'd like to meet you.
And that's Roseville
on this day. Yeah, Roseville Police Department has really stepped up, and for them, they've done a lot for their community, and they wouldn't mind showcasing what they do, and they've been very kind to us in that regard, and we hope that'll catch on with other fire departments or police departments and say, hey, we'll meet you on October 1st with the donations that we've collected. As Tracy just said, a lot of police departments do the same thing that we're doing. You know, they see the children firsthand and where they have to go, and we're hoping people will represent their department and meet us on that day.
All right. Well, thank you, Jeff and Natalie. It's great to have you on the show.
You.
It's nice meeting you. Maybe you'll be a regular with Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
So as Jeff said, check out the event's Facebook page. We have posted here.
Last fall, White Bear Lake police officer Nathan Hook helped in a proposal prank that got a lot of media attention.
Well, now the couple has welcomed our GTN crew into their new home to share their story with us, as well as a special message for the department and Officer Hook.
It's cool to start our life in White Bear with such a big story like that, and to really kind of makes you feel part of the community.
Before Taylor Labasser and Gabe Nelson's engagement went so very public,
Are you serious?
Their personal life together began long ago when they were just kids, as they call themselves, a relationship burning big and bright before ending too soon.
Through the years, he was kind of the one that got away.
It was a big heartbreak, probably the biggest one in my life, and I kind of just walked away and never thought again.
But as fate has a way of so often stepping in, a chance meeting in White Bear Lake brought them together 14 years later.
So when she walked in the door, I'm like, yeah. I saw the picture and I'm like, I know if I meet her again, it's over. Single life is over.
And they were over, their single lives, quickly falling back into the love they'd once shared so long ago. Gabe knew the time had come, and he shared his plan with an old friend who had some plans of his own.
I don't know how to do it. I'm like, do I do classic romance, like bring her to a restaurant, drop a ring in the glass? He's like, no. I'm like, yeah, you're right. It's like, let's do this. Let's take her through a roller coaster of emotions. I'm like, okay, what are you talking about?
The plot evolved over time, but always included a police presence, and another friend, knowing some White Bear Lake police officers, took action on Gabe's behalf.
She went up to the police station and asked, just went up into the front door, knocked, and was like, hey, we got a friend that wants to do a proposal, prank. Anybody interested? Two of the officers behind were like, no, no. And then the receptionist was like, that's mean. And then Officer Hook was in the background, was like, I'm in.
Gabe says from then on, Officer Hook took an active role planning how the engagement would unfold. First step was for Officer Hook to call Taylor and tell her to pick Gabe up from the police department.
She did have to get me from the police station at one point, so this was believable.
Yes.
Once she did, the ruse began to quickly unfold.
As soon as he got down on one knee and he opened the box, he didn't get a chance to say anything. Everybody jumped out and said, oh my God, so I'm freaking out. All these people jump out and scare me. And he's still down on one knee, didn't even get a chance to even ask him, well, what are you gonna say? I'm like, he didn't ask me yet.
So technically I never asked.
Yeah, technically never asked. I said yes, obviously, but yeah, chaos ensued after that.
The proposal seems perfect for a couple who loves to laugh.
Yay, stick it! We have a hard time being serious.
It's a little difficult at times.
Joking aside, they say they feel officers don't get the credit they often deserve.
I think each community has an Officer Hook. You know, you have these police officers out there everywhere that they are in the communities. They are helping kids or helping families. You don't hear about it, and it's sad.
And they say they'll forever be grateful to the police department and Officer Hook for being more than just a badge, but a human being.
It's not just about being a police officer, but doing something good for people in your community and facilitating a really cool story that we have forever. You know, he'll always be a part of the story, and we'll always remember him.
What a great story and what a great couple. They seemed like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was fun to see the backstory on that. And we heard Gabe and Taylor were a lot of fun. We're going to take a break, but find out what Backbending Challenge pinned our two departments against each other.
they've seen the show, or they talk about an episode that I might have forgotten about because we've moved on to another episode, or it might be on a replay or something. And they say, you know, the one, and I'm like, oh, okay, I know what you're talking about, or that they've seen a family member or a friend or something when we've done some interviews or something on the street. Although friendly, there is a competitive spirit between our departments, and in this next segment, we show you how high or how low we're willing to go, and we also learn a little bit about one of our firefighters. Hey everybody, I'm out here at White Bear Lake, and I'm here with White Bear Lake firefighter Jared Hyder. Thanks for being out here with me. And the police and fire department, we get along pretty well, and we go on calls together, and we try to help you guys out, and you guys help us out. But with that said, we also have a little rivalry between the police and fire department, I think, on who's better. We all know the police department is better, right?
I don't know about that. We do butt heads a little bit here when we get to competition, but it's all good.
Yeah, so you've decided to come out for a challenge that I challenged you today for, right?
Yeah.
Little obstacles that we've got going.
Absolutely, let's do it.
We've got the first one here. Should we try the first one?
All right.
See if we can do this. Let's see what we can do with these things.
This isn't going to be easy.
It's not going to be pretty either.
It's not going to be pretty either.
Should we go to the next one?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Very good job.
One shot. Get there.
Oh!
The wind's
shorter than you, yeah?
Really going to have to dig deep here.
We're tied. Would best capture the story of Jared?
Best song.
Best song.
Capture the story of me.
To play in the background of your movie.
To play in the back, I'd say like a Rocky theme song. I think.
Really?
I like that. Yeah.
You've overcome challenges.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Awesome.
I think so. Adversity.
Right.
Okay. Here we go. Justin Bieber definitely would play me in like my teens to now age, definitely.
Really?
And then I think I could play myself now.
Did you ever have Justin Bieber hair? No, I can't picture
that. I never did, but he can buzz his hair just like mine. But I want him to play me. So there you have it.
So Justin Bieber.
Yep, and me. I would play myself present day, and then George Clooney.
You want to be an actor?
No, I don't want to be an actor, but I think I could do it. You know, I think I can do it.
Jared, are you ready to limbo?
I think I'm ready to limbo. Let's do this.
Let's limbo.
It's happy time and it's full time. Somebody, somebody told me that we are gonna have a good time. Despite some feeling, I know everything is alright. So find somebody and let us go all out. About the girls, I'ma move them body. This kind of food, make it body, laddie. Do something with somebody.
Scariest moment.
Scariest moment for work or for life or what?
Both.
Both?
Since you said both.
Since I said both. Well, maybe joining the fire department. I don't know. Maybe that was the scariest moment. No, I think agreeing to do this challenge would be the scariest moment of my life. Yeah.
Really? I'm gonna need this right to balance.
Here we go. This is the real challenge right here. I'm gonna go down without even coming up. No!
Yes.
That was weak.
Who's had a significant impact on your life and why?
I would say, I don't think I knew this, but my dad was a state patrol officer for like 32 years, and
I didn't know that
I think
either.
like subconsciously something must have happened, but he's definitely had the most impact on my life, I would say. Gotten me to this point, so.
We're at our last challenge, Jared. It's gargling water.
Gargling water.
You good at gargling?
The endurance.
Are you good?
I'm not, but we're going to see. I don't think I've ever been tested at
I don't.
how well and how long I can gargle.
Usually I only gargle in private.
Well, it's a very,
in front of everybody with a camera.
This is a very public gargle, so we'll go with it.
All right.
All
ready?
Right. You ready? I'm ready. couple times.
Cat or dogs?
I would say neither, but if I had to pick one, dogs. Not a cat person at all, and if somebody's got a dog, I don't have a problem with it, but
you're
I'm
not
not
gonna
going to
go
go
out and
get
get
a dog
one?
or
What
a
about a
cat.
fish?
No. Fish? I could do a fish, not a bird. I don't think a bird, but...
Well, thank you very much, Jared, for being a good sport.
That was a good time.
That was
Thank
fun.
you.
And just like the softball tournament, I think the police won this one.
I don't know. It was close. You know, I don't
think
we need judges. We need judges. We need panels. We need all this kind of to determine these kind of things.
Yes,
Because it was
unbiased.
close. It was close.
It was good competition.
Exactly.
You might have won, maybe one.
Maybe one. Yeah, well,
Maybe
I don't know. We'll see.
two.
It was close. It was close.
Thank you very much for being a good sport and for answering our silly questions and for being on the show with us again.
It was a good
Appreciate
time.
it.
You're welcome. Thank
All
you.
right, thanks. Well, Jared was a very, very good sport for doing that. We asked a lot of silly questions and did some fun things.
Yeah,
so it
you
was
guys
nice of him, even though he lost.
Yeah, you guys, wait a minute. So, well, I think Jared, I mean, from my angle, Jared won. Okay. Well, before we go, we'd like to congratulate White Bear Lake police officers Matt Butchko and Antonio Brown for being awarded DWI All-Stars by the Minnesota Department of Public Safety.
Collectively, they took 64 drunk drivers off the streets of White Bear Lake. With increased awareness and enforcement, DWI arrests have declined by 40% in the last 10 years. Congratulations to them. We're out of time, but we'd like to thank you for watching. I'm Tracy Minarchuk.
And I'm Ron Hawkins. See you next time.